A young boy is murdered in the school, but the killer disappears in plain sight. The killer did almost everything right, until he made one small mistake. It was a crime that defied a simple explanation. In the history of human existence, there has been such incidents that are so bizarre, that it compels you to think, if one can ever understand what really is going on in someone's mind. Today, we are going to talk about one such story, and it does include harm to a child, so viewer discretion is advised. But before we start, if tales of mystery and intrigue captivate you, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and hit that notification bell. Stay with us, as we uncover the stories that lurk in the dark corners of our world. On September 7, 2017, a 7-year boy named Pradhaman Thakur began doing his school homework inside his family's small and loving home in Gurgaon, India. Like he always did, after finishing his homework, his mom brought him a glass of warm milk and gave him a loving pat on his back. Like any other child of his age, Pradhaman was a sweet, fun-loving boy who loved playing with his friends, and going on little outings with his parents and his sister to the local park and the zoo. His favorite thing to do was playing keyboard and sketch cartoon figures. Although he often struggled to get the tunes right, he would never give up until he perfected it. He always had an urge to try new things, no matter how hard they were. Every evening when his dad Barun would come home from work, Pradhaman would insist he play with him. On days when he was late after a long day in office, he would still convince his father to throw around a ball while he was sitting on the couch and watching TV. Barun sometimes regretted not being able to spend more time with his kids because of late hours at work. One such day, when he came back from work late, he found a note from his 7-year-old boy on his desk that read, "Dad, you work a lot. You don't get holidays, but I promise you that on Sunday, you will have a holiday." With tear-filled eyes, he walked into his son's room, and saw Pradhaman fast asleep. He gave his son a kiss on his forehead and whispered to him that they'll have the most fun weekend together. The next day on September 8, 2017, Pradhaman woke up excited. He couldn't wait to go to school to meet his best friend and tell him all about his fun plans with his family on the weekend. Pradhaman was getting annoyed with his big sister because she was taking way too much time getting ready and was going to make them late for school. He teased his sister for deliberately taking more time because she wasn't prepared for the exams that were gonna take place that day and trying her best to miss it. In turn, his big sister grunted and gave him an annoyed look. Every day after school, when Pradhaman and his sister would reach home, he would race to the gate of the house and claim victory. Behind him, his sister would struggle to carry his bag and water bottle. Their mother Jyoti, who was making breakfast in the kitchen, smiled listening to their banter. She sometimes couldn't believe how happy she was, with her perfectly happy family, and felt an overwhelming sense of gratefulness. Her husband walked out of the bedroom and told the kids to quickly finish their breakfast and get ready for school. Both the kids obliged and followed their dad to his car. Their mother watched from the balcony as both kids left for school. On the way to his dad's car, Pradhaman suddenly stopped and turned back. With the biggest smile, he waved goodbye to his mother. But little did anyone know, it was the last time they will see Pradhaman alive. Pradhaman and his sister went to a school called the Ryan International School. A prestigious private school that bustled with the laughter and chatter of children on the sunny morning. As the day went by, the school compound got filled with enthusiastic children, running around in the corridors, the teachers going about their day, the sound of the school bell after every period, and the worried senior students precariously revising the syllabus for the exams that were going to take place that day. But, as the day unfolded, unbeknownst to everyone, a shocking discovery was made. Pradyuman was found lifeless, inside the ground floor washroom. The entire school went to a frenzy. There were teachers running around, and the sound of ambulance sent chills down the spine of every student. Soon, the corridors echoed with police sirens and the media stormed in with cameras. In the afternoon of the incident, Barun and Jyoti got a call that is every parent's worst nightmare. The news quickly spread like wildfire throughout the nation. Everyone was shocked and enraged, and soon enough, rumors started spreading and people started pointing fingers. Police soon identified their primary suspect and made the first arrest. The school's bus conductor, named Ashok Kumar, who resided in the outskirts of the city and was recently hired by the school. Ashok belonged from a very poor family, with 6 mouths to feed. Because of the financial crunches, he accepted the job of a conductor with a wage of 7,500 rupees per month, which is about $90. On the day of the murder, he was the one who carried Pradyum's lifeless body to the ambulance. According to his statement to the police, he only tried to help in order to save the child's life, and he did not harm him. But the police narrative was chilling. They claimed the conductor had tried to molest Pradyuman, and when resisted, he silenced the boy forever, using a knife from his toolbox. But as days turned into weeks, cracks began to appear in the police's version. The arrest of Ashok was met with public doubts and concern, including from the boy's family. Pradyuman's mother stated later that she had believed the conductor was being framed, because of the inconsistencies in police's version. A medical examination of the body ruled out any sexual assault. Another witness, a school gardener who was one of the first on the scene, stated that he had not seen any bloodstains on Kumar's clothes, before he assisted with picking up Pradyuman to take him to hospital. The conductor told the court that he had been repeatedly physically assaulted by the police in an attempt to force him to confess to the murder. Kumar maintained publicly that he was innocent, and had not committed the murder. In January 2021, 4 police officers of the Gurugram police were charged with framing Ashok Kumar, by the Central Bureau of Investigation. The charges including offences relating to falsifying documents, torture, and criminal conspiracy. CBI took over the case from the local police and started investigating the crime from scratch. As the investigation continued, new piece of evidence emerged. A blood-stained knife that was missed out during the initial investigation was uncovered from a hidden spot inside the washroom, and an unseen CCTV footage. This contradicted the police's statement that a knife recovered at the scene of the crime, and identified as part of the school bus toolkit, was the murder weapon. But soon, the story took a sinister turn. Something that no one saw coming. To understand what actually happened to Pradyuman, we would need to go back to the evening of September 6, 2017. In a dimly lit bedroom, around posters of rock bands on the walls, and loud music playing in the background, a stranger, sitting on a desk, scribbles furiously on a piece of paper. He grapples with the weight of the present. The pressure of expectations, the looming shadow of upcoming events was seemingly crushing his soul. He looks up to the marked calendar, hanging on his closet wall, and shudders with fear and desperation. In the morning of September 8, 2017, the day goes per usual. The bus conductor, a recent addition to the school's staff, shares a laugh, unaware of the storm that's about to hit. In the midst of the bustling school day, the toilet door on the first floor creaks as it opens. The stranger, hidden in plain sight, unsuspiciously enters, looking around nervously. His footsteps, though deliberate, were almost silent, drowned out by the cacophony of life outside. The weight of his intentions bore heavily on him, but his resolve was unwavering. Inside the bathroom, the air was thick with the scent of dampness and old soap. A young boy, no older than 7, stood by the sink, his innocent eyes focused on the tap as he washed his hands, humming a tune. The water's rhythmic drip was the only sound that filled the room. Unbeknownst to the boy, the shadowy figure had entered, locking the door behind him. The room's temperature seemed to drop a few degrees as the murderer approached his unsuspecting victim. The boy, sensing a presence behind him, turned around, his eyes widening in surprise and then fear. Before he could utter a sound, the cold, sharp blade of a knife was pressed against his throat. With a swift, merciless motion, the murderer slit the boy's throat, leaving behind a chilling silence. The once innocent hum of the ceiling fan now seemed to mock the tragedy that had just unfolded beneath it. The murderer, with his dark deed done, quickly exited, leaving behind a scene that would haunt the school's memory for years to come. As it turns out, Pradaman's killer was none other than a 16-year-old senior student from his own school. The stranger, whose identity remains concealed by the CBI for being a minor, was behind this sinister plot all along. He was one of the first on the scene of the crime, and had informed school authorities that another student had been injured. But the most shocking part about this story is the reason he committed this crime. The teenager, as described by his classmates, was a bully. Being the son of a wealthy lawyer, he feared no consequences. He would often attack his classmates for no reason, and threaten them into doing his school work. He was weak in studies, and often failed his exams. However, his acts were soon about to catch up with him. His parents, who were unaware of their son's conduct, would soon be made aware of it in the approaching parent-teacher meeting. Fearing that he would fail the exams and face the embarrassment of his actions in front of his parents, he plotted a murder. He believed that a sensational act would either force the school to shut down for a few days, or create enough disruption to cancel the exams and the parent-teacher meeting. The victim was just at the wrong place at the wrong time, and paid the ultimate price. The evidence that CBI discovered, the CCTV footage, showed the teenager guiding innocent Pradaman to the boys' restroom. Looking around for any potential witnesses, he then entered the bathroom. His fingerprints were also discovered on the weapon. His father tried his best to save his son, even blaming the CBI for trying to falsely implicate him, but ultimately he confessed his crime. He told the police that he chose Pradium randomly, and if he were not present at that time in the corridor, it would have been another junior student. He was later officially charged for murder and was sent to juvenile detention. As for the wrongly accused bus conductor, he still suffers from both the physical and mental trauma of the incident. He now lives with his family in the village and is trying his best to move on with his life. If you liked this story, then stay tuned with us and subscribe to the Eclipse Tales. Take care, and until the next time.